so we can finish. Oh, yeah, so this phone don't want to sit up. Sit up. You're going to sit up. Sat. Hold on, let me get something set. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh. Shit, it's not working for me. The last one was. It's gonna be a funny beginning to the video. Hold on. It's just not cooperating. Cooperation's not here. If you give me 1 second, I'll figure out how to cooperate it or make it cooperate. It's good that nobody's here, so I can figure it out. Think about it once we don't figure it out. Till I go to the store. I might go to the store this weekend. I'm kind of a little set up. A little woo-woo. Meantime, this is like for real? So this is what we're gonna do. Gigi, bring me that little holder that broke. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Let me see something. Remember? No, remember that black one you asked if you had? Oh. The part for the phone. Did you threw it away? I don't know. It was on the table. Bruh. Can y'all hear me? Oh shit, now. Can you hear me? Mic check. Mic check. Sound good? Please, somebody just say that you can hear me. All right. We're back. So what had happened was my phone had died. So it had died. It did. And so I already knew it was dying. I told y'all I was going to end, but then the conversation kind of started getting kind of cool or just interesting and organic, and I love it. I love that kind of stuff. All right, cool. You can hear me. All right, so I want to see if who was commenting about planets and stars and everything come back. So I'm gonna just give us a couple more minutes before I finish my story about. Oh shoot! No. Okay. Sorry. You just find hella late. Yeah, no, I'm waiting to see if the folks that was just on the last live check in, so we can finish that conversation. But I was talking about, what we were talking about was, do you think the Earth is flat? And I said, no, I don't think the Earth is flat. Because, for many reasons, but I was talking about me, we were talking about Saturn, with Mercury, yeah. Yeah, but I was really, okay, you're back, great. Now I can finish the conversation, or the story, rather. So, one of the main reasons I don't believe the Earth is flat is because I would say it was about 2005, 6, in Oakland, and we lived in Winding River, so that was like 07. So it was like 07, and my friend, another, Gemini friend of mine, we're into all this extra cool stuff and, really off the beaten path type of things, like undercover nerds. So anyway, she was like, do you want to go with us to Kentucky? We found the caves, the Mammoth Caves. And in the Mammoth Caves, you can go down into the earth at least 1.5 miles. You can go further if you want, but the tour is only going to take you about 1 mile, 1.5 miles. So do you want to go? I'm like, hell yeah. So we drove to Kentucky. We drove like I guess I think it was maybe a 5.5, 6 hour drive from Atlanta. And we got there that night. We spent the night because we had to wait, till the daytime for the tour to start. Kentucky is interesting, especially in this area. But let me find out the city. I'm going to tell you guys right now. But it's called the Mammoth Caves. Mammoth Caves, Kentucky. I'm not going to tell you right now. Let me just put right on there. Tours. They got tours. See. All right. What city though? 3-star hotels. It's the country, y'all. What city? Rolling Hills. Hold on, let me tell you. Huh? Oh, they're gonna be alright. Bro. Okay, I'm gonna have to just put that in Google. Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. Which city? What city? Okay, I said what, and then county popped up, and we go by counties. So it says it's in. Oh, this is wild. I'm usually a good Googler, and this ain't showing me what I want to see. Tell me what's north, what's next to it. What city is it? Long story short, y'all do that. But anyway, it's a thing. I was there. So we went, and it's light, or it has like sunlight from the entrance, and as you start walking down and more down and more down, you feel it getting colder, and our trajectory was down. We were like going in, not through, but like from the top of the ground and in. So we went, like I said, almost 1.5 miles in. When we got down there, we had flashlights and shit. We saw fish down there that were transparent, no color, no. You could see their heart beating and all the shit in them. Crickets, transparent wildlife as you get down into the earth. Why? Because there's no sun at all. No light. No light. So for me to rationally believe that the earth is flat because someone has a really cool presentation online about it, and they got a flashlight and they went around and they did some shit. Yeah, I don't believe that. Just because, that's just one of the reasons why I don't believe that. Because I went into one of the entrances of the earth, and so if you look up, if you've ever heard of, he was talking about Antarctica. Antarctica, if you look up Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd was, a admiral who had this mission to fly, find out what was going on. My stream was interrupted, and I think I'm using words that I'm not supposed to be using, or they're just, triggers. I'm telling y'all, I'll even talk about 99.999% of the stuff that I actually know, because anyway, just look up those terms that I just told y'all, and the city called Agartha, Agartha. I don't know if the city's real, but just look it up. Alright. Any more questions about far out shit while we're talking about it? Okay, you're super fast, super good, super slow. Like a lightning bolt offering a picnic that big inside. That's a broad range of interest. So Sometimes knowledge is surface deep, but you're such a good bluffer that no one knows this little secret. What? Oh, this is for you, Letitia, Gemini sign. Oh, okay. Like, you love to talk. You just love to enjoy. Okay. Like, I should continue telling deep stories in the future. Okay. I write books, so I mean there might be a few of them in my books. You just don't know, you know. I have 4 published books.
She's very organic as well.
Yeah, I'm an organic person. Like this came out because we was just talking. Somebody, you know, sparked this conversation. Let me see.
Yeah, if we both have to start talking about stars and going to Earth.
Proves me the earth is flat. Go jump off the edge.
Right.
What about time travel, etc.? Do you believe that's possible? Yes, I do. Okay. All right. Check it out. Damn, we're really about to go here. Should I really tell you what I do? I'll just say this. Yeah, I have 4 books. My first book is called Turn on the Lights So You Can See. My second book is called What You Don't Know About Your Soul. My third book is called The Unapologetic Apology. And my 4th book is called The Truth. What a hell of a drug. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, what you see is what you get. So imagine what I write, how I write. This is like that. But, okay, I'll tell you this. Time travel is possible. Let me tell you something. Time travel happens in the 4th dimension, okay? Right now we're in the 3rd dimension. We're present, right? This is the present. 3rd dimension is right here, right? 3D, right? We all cool right there. Is everybody with me on that? We're in 3D. We're in the 3rd dimension. Let me see. Follow me now. Follow me. Okay. All right. Cool. So we're in the 3rd dimension right now. The 4th dimension is time, and the reason why time travel happens in the 4th dimension is because in time and thought are in the 4th dimension. So when you're trying to come up with an idea or you're trying to think about something, you go to another dimension in your mind to organize the thoughts, to imagine the future, to remember the past. So you're literally time traveling in the 4th dimension when you're thinking. People get stuck in the past, and they also get stuck in their mind and in the 4th dimension in thought about what ifs, because the future is possible. The future is possibilities. So time travel happens in 4th dimension, but you have to come back to the 3rd dimension, you know, to make things happen. So for instance, I'm thinking in the 4th dimension about what I'm about to do, and I'm imagining it and I'm planning it, and then, you know, I'm able to go back and forth and, you know, do my plan. Now the 5th dimension is the beginning of the spiritual dimensions. So just imagine the 5th dimension as Grand Central Station, and in the 5th dimension holds the Akashic records, and the Akashic records are similar to a soul file. Everything that has happened with that soul is in the Akashic records. The Akashic records is not a place of time. Time doesn't exist in the 5th dimension. Time only exists in the 4th dimension. Time is a measurement that we as humans use so that way we can remember things, or we can imagine a year from now, because we've made this measurement of 12 months, and we understand what a month is and all those things. So for us in this dimension, for us to even grasp the future or the past, we have this linear thing going on because we have age, we're growing linearly, in linear terms. So time for us is also in linear terms, that way or this way. Well, in the fifth dimension, there is no time. Everything is in a sphere. So your soul, if your records are accessed in the Akashic records, and I ask a question, let me get back to that. But anyway, your records, whatever's happening in your soul is happening right now. Even if it's something that happened to your soul many lifetimes ago, if it is there, it is happening right now. It's no future past, it's now. If it's there, it's now. So I say that to say that I'm a licensed soul realignment practitioner, and doing this work, I go to the fifth dimension with the permission of my client to access their records. I can't access anybody's soul record without their permission. And when I do access the record, I can ask questions to the soul that help me find blockages in this particular soul and clear the blockages and then explain them to the clients. But I'll have to let you guys know right now, the reason why I don't talk about this work and the things that I do is because there's a certain level of there's just a learning curve that already has had to been reached before you find out about a service like mine, a person like me. You understand what I'm saying? So shamans come to me. I've done a reading on the shaman and her husband, who is a doctor. I have many, many testimonials from my clients whose whole lives have changed from me clearing them. But I don't lead with that. It's not a public thing. It's not nothing that I care for people to, know, honestly, because it's none yet. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah, it's a personal thing that I've done and that I do. Let me go get my book. Let me show you guys. Like, I'm truly licensed. I don't play with this, and I'm not. Clearly, I'm not putting it on for the city or trying to make it be a thing for everybody because y'all just now hearing about it. Hold on. I puts in that works. So yeah, your girl been to school. I go to school for fun. I had to pay a nice pretty penny to go to this class, get this training. But when I went in my room, I found one of my books. This is my first book. Turn on the light so you can see. I was homeless in 2006. And this was a picture of me in my house in Atlanta in 2014. So we'll see how I changed the way I thought to change my life. So this is my note. Well, this is my book right here for me doing my work. It's called Soul Realignment Practitioner Certification Training. So not only was it what I did, not only is this the book I had to use to train, but I also have to use the book after I've done my, my reading, and so I could look, so I could get the information, or really like group it so I could understand it. But I'll show you guys, like, for instance. So I mean, this stuff is so real, y'all. I can't even explain. So basically, I have this little sheet, and I ask the soul these questions. Once I ask the soul these questions, then I group the answers. I know my teacher goes like, "You're not supposed to tell him." Yeah. Anyway, I group the answers like this, and then after I group the answers, then the story comes to me about what the blockage is. So then I write the story on the back of the client's thing, so I could be able to remember the energies, that I picked up on, and what that grouping meant. So this is a folder of all kinds of clients that have benefited from what I do. So yeah, and that's just like inside. That's when the spirit, allows that. All right, let me read these comments. These comments. These comments. Okay. These comments. People don't even control their own lives, let alone their families' environment, yet they're curious about things they don't know. I really must be a fool and mad because I really don't know what all these things we are entertaining do for us with the sick state that we are in. That's deep. What kind of results and tangible space can we gain from all these things if we're collectively not even united in harmony with ourselves? Okay, thanks for sharing facts with my deja vu. I explain feeling like a certain experience happened before, only to release my experience before a second after. Okay. Alright. First of all, wisdom. We are all on our own soul's journey. Everybody individually is on their soul's journey. We are, in a small sense of understanding, we would say we need to do this together. On an earthly level, but on a spiritual level, if you have any spirituality in you, you know that was all they preached about was get your relationship with God, right? I can't be at your spiritual level and we do it together. Wisdom, like I was saying before, is something that is sought after. Wisdom is not something that is given to you. You have to earn wisdom. You have to earn wisdom by your own research, your own knowledge, your own desire to have it. So where I am spiritually, I could not do this with everybody at the same time because my relationship with God is mine. So everybody is on an individual spiritual journey at the same time, and each one of us is a unique expression of God himself. And what you believe, you shall have. That's where that is. Deja vu. Let me read it again. So, how do you explain the feeling like a certain experience happened before it? Well, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. So, if you were to even engage me in any soul work or conversation, like I said, there's a level of understanding or learning curve. You'd already believe in reincarnation. You'd already believe that your soul has been here before. So we won't even have to talk about that, right? So if your soul's already been here before, then what happens, right? Like, how do you come back? Or what's the cycle, right? So I'll start with death. So when the soul dies, or when a person dies, the soul is connected. First off, every night you leave your body when you sleep. And every night your body naturally produces DMT. It's a spirit molecule. You can look it up. So anyway, DMT is what allows us to get up out the body and, free to roam about the universe, honestly. But we're connected by a silver string. When you die, right, seconds before death, that string is severed. The soul is released from the body seconds before death. Body's still there. The soul is given a choice. No, there's no, you're coming here, you're going there. The soul can stay on the earth. The soul can go toward the familiar light, the feeling, usually, I'll just say Because there's several different kinds of situations that happen. You know, someone could die tragically. Someone wasn't ready to die. They not going nowhere right now. Their family is crying, and you know, their family, they hurt, and they here trying to have their spirit around to comfort them. Then you have other situations where, you know, the person was older. I'm just going to give you a normal situation because there's so many hypotheticals, right? So anyway, person passes away, their soul, the string is severed, boom. Now, the way that God set this up is that that we're whole in our soul, in our bodies, and we're also whole, you know, back where we go, right? So but we're fragmented, you know. So when you get back, you have to go through a restoration, and once you go through the restoration, then you go to like something like a council or some older souls, and you go and you look at the book. You look at the book of life, and you know we're going to review this. So they're turning the pages, and these pages are better than any book you've ever seen because it's 3D and you know it's moving fast. So your life is going like boom, you know, real fast, and you'll review it. You don't have any shame and guilt like you have in the body because that's a whole human thing. That's not a soul thing. So anyway, once you've reviewed your life, then you go back to your soul group. Soul groups are described as looking like grapes, like a bunch of grapes, or you know, a beehive, you know. So and this has been described by many people who have had past life regressions, you know, with doctors who can, you know, hypnotize them to get to a state where they can, you know, let their subconscious speak. So anyway, this description is not from one person. This is from many different people. This is from, you know, that don't even know each other, that have done these, you know, studies. So anyway, you're back with your soul group, and you're like, okay, hey, all right, we're planning the next life, y'all. All right, let's do this. And so, you know, remember, in this life, you have something called free will. Everyone has free will, but you're planning your life with your soul group because there's certain things that you just reviewed in your life review that you have karmic lessons to learn. There's lessons that you didn't learn in life, or you didn't pass, or you created some extra karma or whatever, but you got your list of shit that you got to go back and plan for situations for you to pass this part of the level so you can go into the next level so y'all group can graduate together. So you go and y'all are planning the life. First thing you do is go, okay, well, what region of the earth am I going to? Looking for the possibilities. Okay, we're going over here to Brazil. All right, well, what parents are available in this situation? Well, for your karmic plan, you gonna need Rosemary and Jose, because, you know, they're going to create an environment that allows your karmic situation to play out. All right. So we pick Rose and Jose. So now let's start to now plan out the life with our soulmates and soul group, so that, and all soulmates are not romantic. People are part of your soul so that you guys can you know, do this thing together, your classmates, you know what I'm saying? Like, or just, you know, assist each other, so to speak. So anyway, in planning that, there's major life events that must happen. So this is a plan that is being made, and your soul was there creating the plan. And for certain, like, really major things that are going on in your life, when you have deja vu, this is what I believe about deja vu. This is like the plan was made, and your soul put a little crinkle in that part of the, you know, like bent it up right there, so it would make you look around and stop and think and remember, because you planned this event. But it was like a bend in the page for you to turn around and remember, I've seen this before. Something is supposed to be happening here that I need to be paying attention to. So that was a long-winded answer, but that's what it is. All right, let me read these comments. You must be unique and one of a kind to experience that. You need to learn how to listen. Sorry, I cannot do it. It's weird sometimes, so like I dreamed it before, I just realized I experienced it. I enjoy this kind of talk. You should make a segment on YouTube channel. Right on. Yes, I do start giving private paid classes to teach online. You know, guys, I'm good at a whole lot of things, but one thing that I'm really good at is self-preservation. Um, I do understand. I mean, you guys don't see the kinds of comments, messages, and things that I get from people. Just that are kind of extra invasive. You know what I'm saying? And so for me to put myself in that, I just need to be able to handle how that would come or structure that. But I'm doing many, 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 many things, as y'all can see. Um, so when I'm in a position or in a mood that I want to do so, that could be a possibility. But I do still have private clients that contact me about soul realignments. Um, I charge $250, and I probably should charge more because of the success rate that I've had. But it takes a lot out of me, like energy-wise, to do it also. When I go to the fifth dimension from the third dimension, I could have just woke up. Every time I do a realignment, I make sure I just woke up, had plenty of sleep, and I have the energy, because when I go to the records, when I go to the fifth dimension, I'm literally drained, like somebody plugged the plug in and sucked out all my energy. Because it's really draining to read energies. And so I'm like this. I'm not going to do the work of draining myself for free or for a small amount. It has to be a fair exchange. If I'm tired, I just got off work. There's the money over there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't do the reading before I get paid. Pay me, and then I know that you're serious about it. This is a fair exchange. This is no robbery. If you don't want to do the things to change that you need to change, and get unblocked after we've exchanged a currency, because the currency that I'm giving is what's being sucked from me, and the currency you're giving is, le argent, then there's no robbery if you don't change your life, or you don't, listen or do the things. You know what I mean? One time, this girl, she was really, she's a friend of a friend, and she, the friend was telling her about her experience, and I told her, I'm gonna help you out. Because she was a friend. I told her I would do her reading for her. And when I started doing her reading, I found something in her record that I had to stop. And in order for me to continue, she had to do something. And mind you, I didn't charge her. Long story short, I haven't even finished her thing because she hasn't did what she was supposed to do. And it's like, it's crazy. Somebody was offering you something that could change your life, and so I stopped doing that too. So. But yeah. Go to my website, letitiarob.com. You can find out a little bit more about some of this there. Also, all my books are there, and ways for you to get them. They're on Kindle. So if you want to just start reading it today, you can get it on Kindle. You can also order it through Amazon. It'll take a couple days and come to your doorstep. No matter what country you're in, even Amsterdam. You gotta watch the movie Fifth Dimension again now. Yeah, I think, if I was to suggest some movies that you should watch, What the Bleep Do We Know? It's a movie. Matter of fact, it's so I wrote this book in 2013, published it in 2014, right? But I wanted to talk so much more about this type of stuff in this book, but I knew that people wasn't ready for it, and whatever. But in my bibliography, I put the types of books that I got a lot of this information from. So, or just that got me started in this, on this, down this rabbit hole. So What the Bleep Do We Know? Many Mansions. The Edgar Casey story on reincarnation. Edgar Casey is one of my mentors, Um, you guys should look him up. Edgar, Edgar, Casey, Cayce. My Life is a Seer. Edgar Casey was a clairvoyant who lived, you know, during our grandmother's lifetime. You know, he died in like 1942, 49 or something like that, but he lived in Virginia Beach. Had an 8th grade education. One day he got really sick. He had laryngitis, lost his voice, and mom and daddy took him to all these different doctors. Nothing was helping. And then they tried everything. So a hypnotist came. Well, maybe I can hypnotize him and help him. Hypnotize him. He went to the 5th dimension. Didn't know that that's where he was at the time, but he was able to heal himself subconsciously. He told the hypnotist what they should do to heal him. Then he was able after a while to put himself under. And he had a stenographer for 26 years who used to be in the room when he was under and wrote down everything he said. And so at first people were sending him requests to heal them, you know, and all they would do is say, my name is this, I'm in this region of the world, and he would tell them what was their ailments in their body. So he thought that he didn't know what was going on, but at first he was like a sleeping prophet, you know, a sleeping healer is what they called him. Then one day, he understood the picture. He was looking at the soul's record. Everything was there. So then he was finding out things about why this person was having these physical problems, these, you know, spiritual problems, these relationship problems, or this specific karma. There was this one lady who, there was a family who, the daughter was sent to be a spy for the British soldiers on America during that war and colonizing situation, and the parents, you know, were like trying to become, you know, get their status up, you know, be higher nobles in England. So they were using their daughter as, you know, a spy, but she was really being prostituted by her family. She didn't mind being, you know, used in that respect. She didn't have any respect for herself. Her parents didn't mind using her as a pawn because they were looking for nobility. This whole family unit came back as the same people, mom, dad, and child. This time, the child had cerebral palsy. She was disabled. She was not able to take care of herself or able to go out and disrespect herself. Her parents were also not allowed or able to use her, and they had to take care of her. So their karma gave them their exact same dynamic again, but this time, these are your rules. This is what's going on. So, you know, when you see people who are, you know, disabled or any of those things, you don't know what that soul's karma is. You shouldn't treat anyone wrong. You know what I mean? You should always be good to people. You shouldn't be like, oh, look at that person. But you should also understand that, you know, when people are, life's not fair, and people create things for themselves. When there's a soul blockage, I find blocks from 3, 5, 7 lifetimes ago where someone did something, and they believed something in their soul, and they created this blockage. And if that blockage was not clear, or they didn't fix that in that lifetime, it rolled over. And then it becomes a callus, and then it becomes something that you work with, something that you used to. You know what I'm saying? But clearing it's like God gave us like life energy, you know. And when you're blocked, You're not allowed to be exactly who God made you to be because you're blocked. You're not getting all the energy that you need to be who that you need to be great. So imagine your heart or this area is receiving the energy. Well, when you're blocked, it's like a water hose is pinched, and so only drips are coming through. So how could you be as great as you could be if you're not getting all of your life force energy? So yeah. Let me see. Just figured possibly long sleep hours was triggering it. I'm checking out her website. No, it's not sleep that's triggering it. You're at a place in life where you're supposed to pay attention to what's going on and make the right choice. And remember, the choices that you make are directly to, choices are reality. Remember that. What you choose is reality. How you choose is reality. You have a choice every day to do something or not. Your choices are your reality. But before you choose, make sure that your emotions are in check. Because we usually make decisions by how we feel. So I'm too scared to do that, so I'm not going to do it. You understand what I'm saying? But you're supposed to do it, but you're scared. It's how you feel. Or you feel like you do want to do it. When people are headstrong and they want to do something because they feel like this is going to get them to the next place. And, I feel like whatever you feel like is why you're going to make those choices. Period. But check your feelings. Check your feelings first. Reevaluate why you're scared. You could have not liked peanut butter from one time you ate it when you was 5. And now you're 35 and I don't like peanut butter. Have you recalibrated that thought, or is that your 5-year-old senses telling you that this is what it is today? Recalibrate the value of that thought. Don't, every time something happens to you, reevaluate how you feel about it. Do I believe that you can bear karma from your ancestors? No, not not personal, not individually, but definitely in the community for sure. Because there's something called independent. There's something called negative independent thought forms. And so what that means is like everybody's telling their kids that there's a Santa Claus. And there's no Santa Claus, but instead of you telling your kids that there's no Santa Claus, you're buying Christmas gifts and presents and snowmans and shit and putting Santa Claus in your house. So you're feeding this independent negative thought. See, negative, when I'm talking about thoughts, are not necessarily like bad. It is bad because it doesn't grow you. But negative is not good for growth. That's what I'll say. So, but that's a negative, independent negative thought, like the tooth fairy or any of those things that we know is not true, but we still allow to exist. That's a negative, independent negative thought form. Because it's independent of you. You didn't make it up, but you're agreeing with it. It's 2 hours behind you, whatever that is. You understand what I'm saying? You are agreeing with it. So you also agreeing with your old mentality about something. So every time you need to make a new decision, dealing with something you've already dealt with, reevaluate the value that you have on why you feel that way. So that you can make a rational decision. So the choice that you make gives you the correct reality. because feelings change. People get stronger. People learn things, and they're able to deal with them. Where are you from, Flossins? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you. Great information. Thanks so much for sharing. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And I'm not back in I say my this journey started like in 06. Nobody was talking about this right now. There was no hoteps and nobody out here with talking this knowledge shit like they're doing right now. And it's like, how do you get to a free place and then get so stuck to your ego, like, y'all ain't woke, you don't know that. Like, what? If you actually knew what you're talking about, you know that everyone is allowed to go at their own pace and at their own, and you boasting on how much and it's just counterproductive to the situation. But if I was to be talking in a human term, in my human space, all those people is my grandkids in this, all of them, because I've been on this. London, England. Okay, London. Originally from Africa. What country in Africa? Because I'm in Africa right now. So what country are you originally from? I know I got my other books around here somewhere, but go to my website, letitiarob.com, and you guys, and I'm talking to you right now. People, I could show you different comments. People like, oh, I'm in your book, I can't put it down, but oh my God. Oh, I'm on the part where you went to the family reunion and y'all, I'm telling you, authenticity is irresistible. So if you guys find your authentic self, Southern Africa, okay, so South Africa, right? But I would say finding your authentic self allows you to be free. Find your authenticity, because that's when people see your light at its fullest potential, its fullest, illumination. Okay, well, I feel like I answered the question. Like the last live ended in the middle of me talking, and I wanted to not leave that unsaid. So I appreciate y'all coming back to let me, talk or finish, and and then you guys got a little more information out of me than I would have just decided to give. Like, okay, guys, we're here today, and I'm gonna tell you that I'm not like that. So thanks for getting to know me better. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to leave now. It was fun. You can like and share this video if there was some part of it that resonated with you. I appreciate you all, like I said, and I'll be back. Hit that little notification bell so you don't miss it.